Welcome to In the Know. I'm your host, Emily Nuevo. On today's show, we are talking all about tea. What are the different types of teas out there, how to brew tea properly, and much, much more. Joining me tonight to share all her tips and expertise is Raelene Gannon, certified tea sommelier from Tea and All Its Splendor right here in York Region. Welcome to the show, Raelene.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
I am super excited about tonight's show because it's about something I love, tea, and I'm slowly getting more and more into tea. And I know you have a interesting story about how you got into the whole tea business. So what's the story there?
Well, you know, I've always drank tea, but on a trip to China, my last trip, I actually got ill on drinking coffee. And I was trying to drink my morning coffee and just didn't sit right with me, and so something must have been telling someone something somewhere, and tried to drink it throughout the day and couldn't, so then just totally started drinking tea from then on. I've never had another cup of coffee since, and when I came back I started looking more into tea and finding out about it. So it's actually really good for you. And then I stumbled upon a course at George Brown, and it was for certified tea sommelier, and I thought, oh, that sounds like something that would be kind of neat. So I took a class, and then I decided, yeah, this is really what I like to do, and so I just got more and more into it, and it's become quite a passion for me. I really love it.
So I've heard of a wine sommelier.
Yeah.
What is a tea sommelier? Is it similar?
It's almost the exact same analogy. We do pairing with tea. We know all about the teas, what it goes with, cooking with tea, pairing it with foods, and how to properly brew it, store it, and all the same kind of properties. It's basically the same analogy.
So you've been a sommelier now for quite a few years.
A couple of years now, yeah.
And what is it about tea that you love so much? Because I know you've taken, you were in one career beforehand, and now you've totally taken, you know, this career path. What is it about tea that you love?
I've always kind of been in the food business. I worked in a chocolate business, and then I was in food service. So it's always kind of been there in the back of my mind, and I've collected teapots. Honestly, it's the only thing I collect. I have 100 teapots. I've collected since like about the 80s, the late 90s,
so even
early
before
90s.
You
even
had that
before
experience
this,
in China,
it must have been fate. You know, they say that there's a thread that weaves through everything, and I have about 100 teapots. So that's kind of been, maybe that was the beginning of all of this, but it's a very interesting, it's a 3,000-year-old product, but yet it's so relevant today. Everyone wants to be healthier. Everyone, the first questions I guess, I want a tea for this.
What tea should I drink, right?
And really drink what you like to drink. It's all tea is good for you. So if you like the green tea, drink the green tea. If you like black and you like to put milk in it, then do that. It's just being more healthy. It's a heck of a lot more healthy than cola or sugared products. So it's really a good alternative.
And we will be getting an education about tea 101 from you tonight.
For sure.
But let's talk a little bit about your company, Tea and All Its Splendor. I know that is your business, your home business. What do you guys do?
Well, basically, the reason why I called it Tea and All Its Splendor is I have a passion for tea in anything that it does. So that's one of the niches that I've kind of done is a lot of cooking with tea. And I am writing a book and a little Tea 101, but cooking with tea, I really find that it can be used in so many ways. Cold brewed, iced tea, hot tea, used in cooking, and cosmetics. I'll be developing, working with an herbal clinician and on herbal, parts of that part of the tea. They're not technically teas, they're tisanes, but it's still part of the, you can mix them with tea and it's still part of the same, drinking category. So that'll be really interesting. So you can put, cosmetics and perfumes all have, green tea in it now, because it's very good for you.
Lots. You see it all the time. Green tea and
health white tea,
and health beauty products.
Absolutely.
And whatnot.
Origins does it a lot, and there's a lot of other products that do it. Yeah.
So what's the sort of motto or mandate behind your company? Are you more so about the fresh ingredients, or teas people have never heard about before? What do you guys do?
We really want to provide a quality product, but a signature product. We're working on a signature line of teas. I blend a lot of teas myself, so I do a lot of signature teas. I love working with individuals. I worked with Trish Stratus recently, and we came up with a line of teas that
favorite here in York Region and on Rogers TV.
And she's selling them very well. well, and so those collaborations are really interesting. I enjoy collaborating with cafes. I worked with a cupcake company that wanted to match their teas to the cupcakes, which was very interesting. So I love the product development and the finding new ways to use it and explore and just bring it to the population. I just wanted to bring it mainstream so everyone can enjoy it and realize how great it is.
So if I were to call you up and say, Raelene, I'm looking for, a tea sommelier to teach me everything about tea, what's the process there? Do you come into people's homes? Do you, do parties? Do you, educate just individuals on the teas or more businesses?
I mostly work with businesses. I'm in the wholesale side of it, so I don't do as much on the retail. I have been asked, and I do that. Yeah. I went to a group of ladies, had a tea party, and they asked if I would come and, just educate them a little bit more because they all drank a lot of tea but weren't sure about a few things. I'm working on doing videos so that on my website you can actually go to that section and learn. There's a tea 101 on my website, so you can go and just do it at your leisure.
Yeah.
But it's really kind of an interesting thing. You can have tea parties and you can pair sandwiches. I worked with a store that actually wanted to do crepes, or I suggested they do crepes and then match the food that they cooked with and then had the tea that paired with it. So it was
I'm
very
thinking
interesting.
Food is very linked with the enjoyment of tea here.
For me it is. It really is. I really find it interesting, and we'll taste some samples after, but I really do believe you can use it in so many. It's really an herb. It's a plant. So it's the most versatile plant I've ever seen. All of this is made from the same plant, most of it. So it's got so many opportunities to do so much with it. And it tastes good.
And we'll taste some later on for sure. So Raelene, tell me what York Region residents and local businesses here in York Region are telling you about tea when you do educate them on all your tea products. What's the number one thing that they say to you?
They really want to know the benefits and they want to know how to do it properly. They say, I've had tea, green tea, I've tried it, and I don't like it. And I go, you know what? The number one reason people don't like a particular tea is because they have not had it brewed properly. If they brew it too hot, it burns the leaves and it pulls out the astringency, so it's got that really dry mouthfeel. And then they think, oh, I don't like any green tea, or they don't like fruity, so they don't try this, or they don't put. They like putting milk in their tea, so that's really a black tea is what you should be drinking. So they just have to really kind of see why they didn't like that particular tea. And I can almost tell you 100% it's the water used or it was brewed too hot.
See, those things I never knew about. I never knew it could be about the way you brew it.
It is. Some people think that if they want strong tea, they should brew it longer, but that's the biggest misconception. They should actually put more tea to less water and brew it the same amount of time. That's how you make it stronger, not longer. So
we have about 30 seconds left, but before we go to break, Raelene, I want to ask you, is there been any tea that you don't particularly like, that kind of, it took time to sort of grow on you?
I've always I tend to not like jasmine teas because they're a little too floral, a little bit too, but the history of how they're made is quite unique and it's quite a process. But I have blended one now with some fruitier, it's kind of like I call it Secret Garden. And it's got and it has a jasmine in it because I know I would like to like it. So that's where I went for that one.
Okay, perfect. So when we come back, we're going to talk more about tea and taste some teas as well. Stay tuned.